resistance I got was me. You know what I mean? A lot of resistance I got was, especially when it came time for the final phases of the book. That's the time, okay, I want to hang out. You know what I mean? That's the time I want to go do this, when I should be, no, you done came this far. You got to stay disciplined. I got to the end almost when I got to the publisher where I should have been. You know what I mean? Okay, I got to stay on this a little harder. I want to go hang out. I want to go fishing. I want to go to a party. And I start realizing all this stuff is taking me off of my mission, which was great. You know what I mean? Because I had to see that, look, you have to stick with this. This is what God's given you. This is your purpose. All this other stuff right now is a distraction. And what really, another form was intimidation, because I was getting to the point where I'm up in front of people and I'm a lot of times speaking. A lot of people had college degrees, professors and stuff like that. And that intimidated me because I just had a high school diploma. And I'm like, wow, these guys are so smart. But one thing stuck out to me was a scripture. And I can't remember how it exactly goes, but it basically goes, your gift will make room for you and it will put you in front of great men. And that's one thing that kept me going. This is not you, this was given to you. So you got an obligation to do this the best that you can. So that's how I fought my resistance.
That's right. That's all right. When I was involved in the writing process, and I'm a new writer, fairly new. It took me 3 years to write my book, and what was affecting me as an individual was the mission that I took up. What was the process for me? I get to the point in my life, and a lot of what you explained, that I could see patterns of behavior in my own experience, where the hedonistic pleasures, the will to pleasure really had it grip on me. And like I said, I was really impressed that you said it was ruling over your life. And it was ruling over my life as well. And when I got to that point of realizing that, hey, my actions are not on my own volition, it's based on external drives. And I read a lot of psychologists, and I studied a psychology major. And one of the psychologists that really touched on that point was a guy named Erik Erikson, when his theory is his theory of psychosocial development. And he's saying that a lot of how children are influenced, or a lot of how, not children, human beings are influenced, is heavily based on the external aspect. So when I got to that point, and I was learning that at school at the time, and I really started thinking deeply on those things, and I realized that, hey, if a lot of my actions are not from my own volition, I realized that I was acting based on domestication and conditioning. I was domesticated in thinking in a specific way. I was conditioned to view life the way that I was viewing life. And I asked myself, if I had a choice, if I could have choose on my own way, would that be the way that I would choose? And then I realized that, okay, it's not only something that's happening with me, it's something that's happening with the younger individuals around me. And that's where I started asking myself, so what am I going to do? What's my why in life? Like, how do I justify my existence? How do I flush myself out philosophically so I can take step-by-step process in taking control, understanding the forces that control my life and being able to guide myself directly. And I understand deeply that and that's the area I want to help in. I want to help and my objective basically is trying to ground a structure of knowledge in something physical. And that physical thing is human behavior. But one of the things that I am a bit skeptical about is not being associated with religious fundamentalism and not being referred to as a moral relativist. And those two things, they exist. One is the pathology of chaos, and the other one is the pathology of order. And I use the word pathology because the word pathology comes from two Greek words, pathos and logia. Pathos basically means suffering or disease, and logia is the study. So the study of what makes persons suffer. So, and how am I going to approach that? And that's when I decide to try, by reading the book named Consilience, the Unity of Knowledge. And the idea in that book really stuck with me. It's saying if something is true on many levels of analysis, it is not left for speculation. If something is true in biology, it's true in psychology, it's true in philosophy, it's true biblically and spiritually, that means that's not something that's left to your own belief. It's a principle. And that's when I realized that having a why in life, being driven with a purpose, is not just something that's true philosophically or true biblically or true. It's true on many levels of analysis, because everything in life is created for a reason, every single thing. So I believe if I could spread that, if I could say that in distilled concentrates for persons in my cultural context, I'm from St. Lucia, the Caribbean, I have to specify that, and I could help, and that's how I can see myself helping persons adopt a better interpretive structure than just domestication.